If you were one of those people that thought you were going to wake up this morning and say, I'm going to get my hands on Fortnite Season 3, you're a loser, just like the rest of us. Fortnite has delayed Season 3 by another week. If it means it's going to be better and it's going to be exactly the way I want it to, it is what it is. Madden and EA have made an agreement through 2026 to keep developing the Madden games. If there's one thing I know, that the $1.5 billion contract they have signed, I should get some of the money because I put so much time into all the Madden games and I bought every single one throughout the years. The Revival make their splashing debut on AEW, and let me tell you how good that is, not only for AEW and the Revival, but tag team wrestling as a whole. Stay right here. Go nowhere. Is Epic delaying Fortnite Season 3 by another week? This is one of 3 topics that we're going to talk about in this video, and before we begin, I want to remind everybody to hit the like button, like I said, subscribe, push this video out, share, do whatever you have to do. We got 3 different topics here. I'm going to try to do some topics outside of sports, some things related to gaming, because again, the more that I push this out there and the more that I talk about, the more people's attention that I get. And again, variety is a very important thing with YouTube. But Epic is delaying Fortnite Season 3 by another week, which is obviously annoying because this was one of those things, especially since I've started streaming just a little bit, that I've looked forward to more so. Right here it says Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3 has been pushed back by another week and will now start on Thursday, June 11th. Epic announced today being yesterday. The second time Season 3 has been delayed after Season 2 was extended by a full month earlier this year. Already pushing Season 3 to June 4th, Epic didn't give a specific reason for the previous delay, but it says this extra week is simply an effort to get everything ready. One of the first things I want to talk about is Season 2. Now, when Fortnite first came out, I played it a lot, and then I stopped playing it. Part of the reason was because I just wasn't good. I stopped playing Fortnite for a while, and then I got back into it, I would say the last 2 or 3 months. But before that, you know, there's a lot of things that happened in between that were very good that I was never really a part of. But one of the things I will say is, again, even not playing the game to its full extent, Season 2 is not good. It's not good. There's a lot of things about Season 2 that I don't like. One, attention to detail. I think the Battle Pass is one of those things that everybody always looks forward to in Fortnite, and they really dropped the ball with this season. I thought almost all of the skins that were on the Battle Pass were not exciting. I didn't really like the skins. A lot of the things that we got throughout the Battle Pass weren't that good. The gliders weren't good. We just didn't get the substance that we were used to being given, and that is why I more so was so much excited for Season 3, is because I felt like they're going to do something different. Again, the pandemic is not their fault, so I understand maybe they don't have the ability to work with each other the way they're typically used to, doing updates, adding new weapons, all those kind of things. But it also says here, Chapter 2 Season 2 is still moving along quicker than Season 1, which was extended by a whopping 2 months to give Epic time to prepare for the holiday events. Again, the pandemic, I don't know how much that factors into it, because again, a lot of this is online. So I'm sure that they could easily communicate and do things with the servers and just the game as a whole, because I don't know how much human interaction is needed. But again, when you're doing something like this, it's definitely something you can understand. You know, players are waiting, me being one of them. A new event that's also supposed to happen is called The Device, which will now be held on Saturday, June 6th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Epic advised players to show up 30 minutes early to help secure your spot, as space is limited. I don't know how true that is, because I've shown up to multiple Travis Scott concerts 2 minutes before they started and all that. Giving the time, and not to mention ongoing rumors of a Doomsday event, many players believe the Device will set up the end of Season 2 and start the transition into Season 3. The Device certainly sounds like a kind of name a supervillain would cook up for the world-ending thingamajig. Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3 is also expected to introduce more water elements, as the many puddles appearing on the map suggest. The exact content of the season remains to be seen, but at least we know it's finally launching on Thursday for 950 V-Bucks. Again, we'll have to wait and see. You know, they also have one of these maps, which I'll probably put up in the corner, about all these water locations around the map, all these different kind of things that they have around the map. So, you know, that's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to wait and see what it is. I didn't think Season 2 was good. I thought the skins were boring. Again, the pandemic has screwed up almost everything you could possibly think of. But if Fortnite wants to make this as perfect as they can, I have no problem with it. It is definitely frustrating. One of the things that I didn't understand is, how do you not know 24 hours before you are making something released that you need another 2 weeks or another week? I could see them saying, we're not quite done, we need a couple more days, but how do you know that you need an entire week? And you don't know that until 24 hours before you drop it. So that's one of the things I didn't understand. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think a lot of us are. Fortnite, Fortnite is always fun to me. But again, it's one of those things where you just you want to see more, You want to see new. And we're going to have to see what happens there. But the next topic I'm going to talk about is Madden. Now, I got the article here. I'm going to give my opinion. NFL EA agreed to extend Madden, the video game, through 2026 on a deal that had come with. Madden franchise will continue to be part of the gaming universe for at least the next 6 years. NFL owners on Thursday approved an extension of their deal with Electronic Arts, continuing a relationship that has existed for 30 years. It was also recently approved by the NFL Players Association. The current contract was set to expire after 2021, but the extension means they will now be the exclusive publisher of the football game through 2026. They said that Chris Webber said the two sides had been talking for months. Many wondered what the future of the relationship might be after 2K Sports signed an agreement with the NFL in March. The current edition of Madden has seen a 30% increase in unique players. According to EA, more than 330 million hours of the game have been played since it was released last August. The company has also seen large increases in gameplay during the past couple of months, obviously because people are confined inside of their homes, with many tournaments taking place among friends and on television. EA's done a nice job ensuring the game matches the experience during a game week. The new technology will allow richer content and add more realism. Realism and richer content. That is when another thing too. Madden 21 will come out in early August with the first looks of gameplay supposed to be coming next week. First thing I want to talk about, realism. Madden 20, I liked Madden 20 a lot, but there were a few things that Madden 20 I did not like. One of those things is the freshness. What do I mean by the freshness? When the game came out, Andrew Luck was the quarterback for the Colts. He didn't take a single snap the season prior to this game being released. We are a couple of months from almost 2 years after Andrew Luck retired, and if you want to get on Madden now, he's your quarterback. Here's the problem. When a player switches a team, I have no problem with EA not updating that, because that's the whole reason why you want somebody to get the new game. But one of the things I don't like is that they don't update their rosters. When you go on and you load up Madden, the overalls and the ranking of everything is just out of whack. I don't mean to use the Eagles as an example. They're not an 89 overall team. The reason why I say that is because that is one of the highest rating teams in the game. The Eagles are a good team. They're not an 89 overall team. There are some teams on here that their overall rating, the players' ratings, is just completely out of whack, and it makes no sense. The Ravens have not even touched a 90, so they have not updated the skills and sets of Lamar Jackson. They have not updated the players. So at the same time, yeah, the game's good, but I don't want to play with a 87 overall Lamar Jackson, because his overall based on the last season should be much higher than that. His overall needs to go up. They need to adjust, and again, that's something that they say they do, but they need to adjust what they do with the players throughout the season. The team overall needs to go up. There's no reason that there's some teams on here that are a 83. Why are the Titans an 83 overall? They were just in the AFC Championship. They don't have to be a 95 overall. And again, everyone knows I'm a Titans fan, but I'm just using them as an example. Pick another team. The Saints, they seem to have right, but there's a lot of teams and a lot of players on there. It's just not accurate. Nobody's saying you have to take a player off a team because they got traded. Keep them on the team, but their overall should be similar to their level and their category of play style. Franchise mode is broken. I wouldn't say it's broken, but it's not. It's one of the things that keeps Madden going. They do a great job with Ultimate Team. Obviously, Ultimate Team is Madden's stepson, but franchise mode needs more into it. It's just not, I love to play franchise mode. I usually play about 4 or 5, if not more than that, every year. And, it's just the same thing. You get the coach call. They need to put more emphasis on franchise mode and try to make it more realistic. The gameplay itself, I like Madden. I like the different modes. I enjoyed Madden 20 a lot more than the other Maddens. But again, that's one of the things they have to work on, is just franchise mode. The career mode, I don't even think anybody plays career mode. I don't even think I've ever touched it. Ultimate Team, they do a great job with. I have to give them props for that. And I do like Madden 20, but it is so outdated. The game is outdated before it even dropped. So it's one of the things to me where it's like, WWE 2K20 was the same way. Worst wrestling game I've ever played. But when it came out, Bray Wyatt was making his old entrance. The guy has a whole different character. That is, it's just, and they don't update. If there's any game that does nothing to update their game, it's WWE. I'm not even going to bring them up here. Patrick Mahomes was last year's cover athlete. Lamar Jackson is this year's, well deserved. He'd be on the cover, and the EA Sports has not made an announcement. So we're going to see what happens when gameplay drops. Looking forward to it. But again, that's one of the things that bother me is just the consistency of updates. I don't think that they do a very poor job with that. The overalls for Madden 20 were the worst probably of any Madden ever made. It was so inaccurate. The teams, overalls, just everything. The effort wasn't really there. But speaking of effort and good news, well, I don't think the EA in Madden is bad news, but talk about some good news. The FTR, formerly known as The Revival, made their AEW debut this past Wednesday on Dynamite, the first show following their successful Double or Nothing show. And let me tell you something. We all knew this. The Revival, WWE Revival, were so great on NXT. They were the best tag team probably in that division. They went up to the main roster and were treated like crap. They were victim to what a lot of other wrestlers are, and that is poor booking, no creative direction, no fault of their own. The Revival is a top 10 tag team in the entire world. If you know tag team wrestling, that is. They make their debut on AEW. This is a good prediction. This is a strong prediction. Within the next 3 to 6 months, the FTR will have the tag team championships. They will be the tag team leader on that brand. And if I'm telling you right now, I think they'll do it right. AEW or FTR and the Young Bucks will be a hell of a match. And that looks like what they're leaning toward. The FTR attacked the Young Bucks on Dynamite this past week, so that's definitely something we're gonna look forward to. But that's really it. I was planning to do some Fortnite gameplay today, but obviously that got kicked to the side because they didn't want to do Season 3. I wanted to delay it. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I always appreciate you watching. And as always, I hope everybody stays safe.